Welcome back to the newsroom. I'm Chella Smith. This is your Middle East U.S. entertainment news here on YouTube. I air on Fridays. I bring you the latest on reforms and economics of Iraq based on reports put out by the Middle East news media outlets. I do this weekly review and it's based off my interests. Thank you everyone for joining me. Last week we were live. This week we're back in the studio. Let's take a look at this week's headlines. Investment opportunities in Iraq's residential development has said that Iraq's National Investment Commission has announced its first investment opportunity for a 266 dunams, 26.6 hectares of residential projects in the Tajaya district, with the announcement period starting from January 15th. The Iraqi Prime Minister met with 57 businesses at the meeting in Davos. Prime Minister Mohammed Al-Sudani attends a meeting at the Davos Economic Forum in Switzerland, where he discusses the Iraqi government development plans, investment opportunities, and housing projects. He highlighted progress made in the energy, oil, and gas sector, and in the government's focus on solar and renewable energy projects. Al-Sudani has also emphasized the importance of banking reforms and the need to maintain stability in Iraq, stating that any attempt to destabilize the country would negatively impact regional and international security. The IBBC Spring Conference will be held in London on June 27, 2024. The IBBC flagship conference on the 27th of June in London will focus on Iraq's dynamic economy and government initiatives. The event will feature dynamic panels of key issues and an opportunity including road infrastructure, agriculture, banking, foreign exchange, energy, and port traffic expansion. Key international and Iraqi businesses will attend, the government's ministry and official speakers. Iran's IRGC has launched attacks on targets in Erbil. The Iraqi Ministry of Foreign Affairs has called for consolidations with the Iraqi ambassador of Tehran, Nasir Abdul Mohsen Abdul Al-Kawari, following missiles attacks by Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, the IRGC, in Erbil. The attacks resulted in several deaths and injuries. The Kurdistan Regional Government Prime Minister Mauser Barzani condemned the attacks and calls for the federal government to take a principled stance against the violations of Iraq and the Kurdistan regional sovereignty. The U.S. State Department condemns the attacks and supported the Iraqi government's efforts to meet the aspirations of the Iraqi people. And the IDC has successfully completed drilling at the Zubar oil fields. The IDC has completed drillings of oil wells, Zubar's 475 and Zubar's 462, reaches depths of 2,402 and 3,562 meters respectively, as part of the contract with Italian company ENI to drill 37 wells in Basra Zubar oil field. And JP Morgan Sudanese is set to open accounts for 3 private Iraqi banks. Prime Minister Mohammed Al-Sudani met with JP Morgan's regional CEO Khalid Habala in Davos. The meeting discussed corporations and financial fields, opening accounts for Iraqi banks, and the possibility of JP Morgan participating in electronic payment applications. They also discussed coordination technical efforts between the Central Bank of Iraq and JP Morgan. Habala expressed JP Morgan's readiness to strengthen cooperation with Iraq and the Iraqi banking sector. Iraq's financial revenues has suppressed 121 trillion dinars in 11 months. The Iraqi Ministry of Finance reported that the federal budget revenues in the last 11 months exceeded 121 trillion dinars, with oil contributing to 93% to the budget. The rentier economy remains the main source of revenues, accounting for 93% of the budget. Total revenues until November last year were 121 trillion, 214 billion, 907 million, 87,408 dinars, excluding transfer revenues. And al-Sudani and the European Bank for Reconstruction president are discussing the development of private sectors and the implementation of reforms in Iraq. The Iraqi Prime Minister Mohammed Shia al-Sudani met with the European Bank for Reconstruction and Development President Odile Renaud Bezos at the Davos Economic Forum. The meeting discussed ways to enhance cooperation between Iraq and the European Bank, supporting the government's development plans, private sector development, and financial reforms. The meeting also explored the possibility of banking development, a work plan in Iraq, ensuring resource mobilization, and supporting unemployment youth. Sudanese officials are discussing investment opportunities with numerous international companies during the Davos Forum. Prime Minister Mohammed Shia al-Sudani held a meeting with 57 international companies to discuss investment opportunities in Iraq's energy, oil, and other economic sectors. He reviewed the government's economic development plans, including industrial city projects, the Al-Fa Port Development Road, and integrated oil field projects. Al-Sudani has highlighted the government's broad orientation towards gas investment and solar and renewable energy projects with Chinese and Emirati companies. He also emphasizes the importance of banking reforms and the need to strengthen regional and international security. The World Bank reports plays a critical role in accuracy, reflecting the policy of the new government in Sudan. Iraqi Prime Minister Mohammed Shia al-Sudani met with the World Bank Group President Ajay Banga at the Davos Economic Forum. The meeting discussed cooperation between Iraq and the World Bank in various economic fields, financial and banking reforms, and projects funded by the IFC. Al-Sudani emphasizes the importance of the World Bank reports reflecting the new government's policy and supporting the private sector and diversifying the economy and achieving financial stability. Banga praised the government's mobilization and development of the banking sector. Al-Sudani has been very busy this week. And Iraq plans to cease international borrowing in the current year. Iraq's government is aiming to stop loans that do not benefit the country. According to engineer Mohammed al-Dajari, chairman of the Committee for Reviewing Iraq's Foreign Loans, the committee aims to inventory loans and determine which projects have benefits from and their conditions. The debt, estimated at 25 billion dinars, have burdened the country for the past 25 years due to the decline in oil prices and insufficient budget. The committee's formation comes after these loans have burdened the country for the past 2 decades. The goal is to preserve Iraq's economy and credit rating globally. Iraq has returned to the World Trade Organization 14 years after its expulsion. Iraq is preparing to exceed the limits set for Iraq's goods in its return to the World Trade Organization 14 years after being expelled due to its failure to adhere to the organization meetings. The head of Saudi Arabia's mission to the World Trade Organization, Sadr al-Maqbel, visits Iraq and reviews the importance of joining the organization. Iraq's successful experiences joining the organization has led to significant growth in non-oil merchandise exports and service exports. Iraq's Ministry of Commerce stated that Iraq is taking steps to return as a strong economic player by opening relations with Arab countries and all countries. He stated that joining the organization will not replace the necessity of internal reforms and that opening the doors to Iraqi goods and trade exchange through global controls will protect Iraq from entering the global market with its weights. Well, thank you for joining me today. You've been watching Newsroom Weekly Review. I'm Chella Smith, your Middle East to U.S. entertainment news on reforms and economics of Iraq. I bring you the latest Dinar news without having to keep up with all the different outlets. I'm here on YouTube every Friday, so don't forget to subscribe and turn those notification bells on. If you like my content, you can give me a thumbs up. If you really like my content, you can always seed a super chat or a super thanks in the comment section below. Again, thank you for being a subscriber, and thank you for visiting Newsroom Chella Smith for your trusted Dinar news. I'll see you guys next week. Take care. Make sure you join us Fridays, 4 p.m. with Newsroom Updates with Chella Smith Entertainment News.